And how is it for you coming into that Doctor Who world? Were you as into it as the other people? I was always. Even those 15 years it was off screen, I was bought Doctor Who magazine, buy the DVDs. I loved it, genuinely. You'd watch out for actors in other things on television that used to be in Doctor Who. I was hopelessly sold and lost on the whole thing, and thank God. So what was more important then, getting the gig on Coronation Street or getting the gig on Doctor Who?
Oh, Doctor Who, any day. Any day. I never got the gig on Coronation Street in the end. I left Granada. But and if I'd stayed at Granada, I wouldn't be doing Doctor Who, so this is the best thing.
And did you leave Granada or were you pushed? How did that work?
I went in the end. I had other things to do. I just moved on. And
Viva Las Vegas was where it stopped, was it? It's as simple as that.
It could have been.
You've written this book with Benjamin Cook, and what a beautifully illustrated book this is. Congratulations to both of you. Benjamin, tell me your story. How do you know him then?
I've interviewed Russell over the last 3 or 4 years a number of times through my work for Doctor Who magazine and Radio Times magazine. February 2007, I approached Russell with the idea of doing, then it was going to be a magazine article, and it turned into a whole book of a sort of a year-long correspondence inside Russell T Davies' head.
And we're not talking some flimsy article, we're talking a big, thick, whopping, great big
book. It's massive.
For every anorak that loves Doctor Who, this is exactly what they've been waiting for.
I hope so, because they deserve it. I also wanted Doctor Who to have a book that no other show has got. Actually, you know, they've all those science fiction shows, they've got their encyclopedias, they've got behind-the-scenes sort of stuff. There's never been a book like this, and Doctor Who and Doctor Who fans deserve this because they're the best.
I've got a million questions for you, Doctor Who, that the fans want answering. Firstly, are there infinite ideas in your head for this programme? I know you've walked away from it now, and we'll get to that in a bit. Is it impossible to stop thinking of new things? Because you can do exactly what you like with Doctor Who, can't you? Take it where you want.
You're right, actually. Even now I'm going, I still think of ideas that I would do if I was staying. I've never admitted that before, but I do. I think, oh, that'd be a good story, or that'd be a good setting, or that'd be a good character. So I'll probably just keep doing that. For the
Are you inclined to pass those on to your successor?
No, he's full of ideas. He doesn't need me chipping in and going, by the way, there's something I forgot.
And how lucky were you to get the cast you did? Because it worked very well. You'd worked with Chris Eccleston before. Is it a team effort with a programme like that, or really will the writing stand for itself?
Oh, it's all about the writing, in my opinion. But no, seriously, it's a massive team. It's hundreds of people all pulling together, and it's absolutely unique. You know, I've been very happy in all the productions I've ever worked in, but Doctor Who is loved by the people who make it. I think it's the kids. You get kids watching it, and you get kids responding. You get kids loving it, and that makes the people going into work harder. It really does. That's a massive responsibility. You never want to let anyone down.
And Ben, are you a complete fan? Do you know everything since the creation of Doctor Who? How big a fan are you? I
wouldn't say everything. That would be quite a claim. I never watched the original show back in the 80s. I am old enough but it sort of finished when I was sort of about 7 years old. But then I got into it a bit later, and a huge fan of the new show, of course. But I would say that because he sat right next to me.
And did he do a good job? Forget that Russell's there. We'll ignore him for a moment.
Disappear.
Did he do a good job with this, bringing it back? How do you feel as a guy who's seen the old stuff and loves it?
Well, I think it's easy to forget what a risk it was. And actually, Russell's always taken risks. Following Queer as Folk with something like Bob and Rose, where you've got a gay man falling in love with a woman, it was a huge risk as the gay writer. And the same with Doctor Who. It was, I think, back in sort of 2003, 2004, it was perhaps considered by a lot of people as a bit of a joke, unfairly, but nonetheless it was. And Russell brought it back and has turned it into, I think he would acknowledge even, that a bigger success than anybody anticipated. But nonetheless, a hell of a risk, and as such has done an amazing job.
And do you kind of thrive on that? Do you like the fact that you were taking on something that really perhaps shouldn't have been brought back, and if it's done badly, you were going to be slated and probably finished?
I do like it when people say that's not going to work. I love that. I absolutely love it, and I know what to do to make things work. It doesn't always happen.
And that John Barrowman, I worked with him last year on an hour special. He's
shy,
stuck raving bonkers, isn't he?
He's shy and retired. I'm surprised you remember him. He's so quiet in the background. He's brilliant. We love him.
Did it ever concern you that your words maybe weren't as important as the visual spectacular that the show has to be?
I think writing is pictures as well. I think a lot of people forget that. Whenever there's a great picture on screen, people go, "Oh, isn't the director marvellous?" You go, "That writer put that in the first place. Thank you very much." And I do think that Doctor Who could be told told in other ways, easily. It's like we did a story last year that had no monsters, no special effects. It was called Midnight, where everyone was just trapped in one room. That was very effective. We got like 8 million viewers for that. However, I do think it's my choice that I think Doctor Who is big pictures. I think it's a big pictorial show, and I think it's fascinating and innovative for writers in this country to write in pictures. We don't often get a chance to do that. Budgets normally mean you're writing scenes between two people in the kitchen. So I have loved that. That's been my absolute favourite thing about writing it, and I think that's one of the unique things about the show. I think it's part of its success. I'm really proud of that.
Tell me about the locations as well. I know you went to Gloucester, to the cathedral, to film there. You go all over the country looking for places you want to find. Is that important as well?
We had a magnificent time in Gloucester because it gave us a location for 1851. It's actually doubling as London in 1851 for this year's Doctor Who special. So it should be, Gloucester should be covered in snow and looking all romantic and beautiful on Christmas Day on BBC One.
And they looked after you, did they?
They were marvellous. We had hundreds of people. It was the biggest turnout we've ever had. It was like crowd control in the end. We travel very rarely. People think we travel all over the place because it looks so good. The only great trip we ever had was a trip to Rome to film a Pompeii episode, and I didn't go, and Ben Cook did.
I went. It was fantastic, yeah. A few days in the sun while you were sat at home in Cardiff.
He was like the Radio Times reporter. It was outrageous.
So how does that work then? You're the executive producer, but you don't bother turning up?
No, I say we're not paying for my airfare. I'm the one saying there's no need for that man there. Cancel the flight.
And you're like the biggest tourist attraction now in Cardiff, aren't you? People literally come to see you film.
I stand on a plinth and on between Tuesdays between 2 and 4, and like, I'm worshipped. But it's like they come to see the Torchwood Tower, and there's like, it's good, it's not just fiction, this thing, it's good business. It brings money into the town, brings jobs into the town, gets Wales on screen. It's a fantastic business opportunity, the whole thing.
Tell me what this means then, executive producer. Does that mean that you're just over everything and what you say goes?
It does mean I'm over everything. It means what you say goes is too simple because it's collaborative. It's like you're employing the people you love and trust, and you're listening to their opinion. So it's never come down to like a final vote on something. It's constant collaboration all the time, talking to people. And I often think of it as transmitting, actually. I just transmit what I think the programme should be, meaning the tone of every episode and the feel of it, even going down to the textures and the colours of it. It's like it's where drama goes wrong, and when most drama goes wrong, and actually where most drama is bland, it's because everyone's got a slightly different opinion of what's happening on the page. And actually you do need to be a bit ruthless and a bit Stalinist with that, and make sure everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet, because then you get a beautiful choir. See what I'm like with metaphors? I'm just marvellous with them today. But
you're tremendous, aren't you? Let's face it. Just all round. Congratulations to you. You're so talented, and you're so great at what you do, and you're respected for it, and you can't fake it. You can't be in the business as long as you have, especially dipping your toes into things like Doctor Who, because they won't forgive you. Congratulations on the OBE as well. That's nice.
Thank you very much. Yes, that's exciting. That's how bizarre.
How does that feel then to have an OBE?
I tell you how it feels. You get 3 tickets and I got 4 people who want to go. It's a living nightmare. And last night I threw out my own father. Let's not go into that.
You can't do that.
Stop.
So who's more important then? The 3 people more important than your father?
Open the debate. It's been weeks of warfare. Blood has been shed, and now I've axed someone.
Dear. I can feel this being a very difficult Christmas for you.
Yeah, less of the nice man.
Russell T Davies, thank you very much. And Benjamin Cook, congratulations on this new book. It's called The Writer's Tale. It's in your stores now. It's beautifully illustrated. And if you are into Russell T Davies or you're into Doctor Who, you're just going to love it. And you give tips and all kinds of things on the writing and behind the scenes. So it's a great book for Christmas. Thank you guys for talking to me.
Thank you.